And in this talk, what I want to do is I want to share with you some real practical lessons that I've synthesized from my life that you can use while you're on the ship, that you can use in your business, and that we can spread this. I'm here to tell you that my message is not mine. It is not coming from me, it is coming through me. So if you want to quote whatever I'm saying and make it yours, that's fine. That's cool. Karma will hunt you down like a dog, but it's fine with me. I'm not stuck to my IP. Anyway, I am here to tell you that there's two ways that we can connect with each other on this boat. We can either communicate with each other, and communication is an exchange of information. What is communication exchange of? Information, that's right. And our cell phones and our computers and our fax machines, they can communicate with each other. It's just an exchange of data. There's another way, though. The humans, we have souls, we have spirits. I don't care what your religious belief or non-belief is. There's something more to us than an electronic circuit, in my opinion. And so we have to be able to get to that next level of interaction. And it's not communication, it's connection. A connection is an exchange of humanity. Connection is an exchange of emotion. Raise your hand if you sell a product or a service. Okay, put your hands down. When you sell that product or service, you don't sell the features of each little element. You sell the emotion, do you not? Because until somebody gets emotionally committed behind a product or a service or a cause, no one cares. Emotion is what drives, is the currency of humanity. And the person, an individual or a group that truly is able to understand how to reach the masses emotionally, they are the wealthiest people on the planet. And I am here to help you become wealthy. Wealthy in mind, body, spirit, pocketbook, all of that. You are supposed to be loving your life. Do you realize that? Yes, I think you do. You're on a cruise ship and it's Friday and you're not working. Okay? So you know you're supposed to be loving life. I know who I'm talking to here. But you need to spread that information. So what we need to do is we need to teach you how to connect on another level, because as much as we're all loving, we also have this other element that we have to face every day we get up. It's called our ego. And our ego is, I believe, there to protect us. Unfortunately, it's protecting us like a child would protect you. So many of us are being run in our lives emotionally at the age level of a child because we're so wanting love. And I'm going to tell you that the best way to get love is to give love. Now, that's not new information. Probably anything I tell you tonight is not going to be new information, but maybe you'll hear it in a new way. So to connect, we have to be emotionally connected. And I'm going to prove to you that we all have emotions. Raise your hand if you've ever been happy. You don't have to be happy right now. Raise your hand if you've ever been sad. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you think you're sexy. Okay. I have some more bad news. I caught many of you looking around for approval. Am I sexy? You really think I'm arrogant if I raise my hand? So let's talk about confidence versus arrogance, shall we? Because as entrepreneurs and people that are really changing this world, sometimes we put our glow on low. We put our energy and our brightness on low because we just want everybody to think that we're cool and laid back and then we're not into ourselves. But then what's that fine line? How do we celebrate ourselves without being seen as arrogant? I think I found it. And that is that confidence and arrogance are separated by just a tiny little bit. And it's this. A confident person has everything to do with improving their lives. They're just about improving their own lives and the lives of others. Arrogance. When we get into our arrogant ego self, we're all about not improving, just proving. And so whenever you're on this boat, or maybe you've gone home at this point, and you're back in your businesses, your cause, and you feel like you're trying to prove yourself, stop. And just say, whoa, what am I doing here? I'm not here to prove myself. I have nothing to prove to anyone. Look, I love each and every one of you. I don't need a reason. And I know that puts me in a small category. Because many of us, we believe that we need reasons to love people. Like, how do we love strangers? I believe that the way we love strangers is we see ourselves in them. And I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist for now 10 years, and I see children after they come up to me after my talks, and they'll roll their sleeves up. They'll show me scars on their arms from cutting themselves. And they'll say, Sean, why do I do this? I'll talk to parents after the children committed suicide and their grievance. You know, I've dealt with people after school shootings, you know, and I find that what brings us back to sanity is when we truly connect emotionally with each other. That we see that we're all just scared and happy and lonely. I've noticed that we've all knelt over graves and cried. We've all received that phone call that was like monumental. Either it's going to be the worst news of our lives or the best news of our lives. And our heart is racing. We've all looked into the other person's eyes and said, I love you, and waited. That one moment waiting of what are they going to say? Are they going to say they love me? Are they going to walk away? Are they going to slap me because I just met them? You know? You know it's going to be done here. Come on. There's going to be some hookups, let's just say. Let's just call a spade a spade. There's lots of alcohol here. You're young, and you're here to save the planet. So, so that's pretty much a recipe for being horny. And, you know, people meet me and they're like, oh, Sean, I want to be as confident as you. You know, some people think I was born with like some kind of confidence gene. They're like, I popped out and I was like, hey, Sean Stephenson here, nice to meet you. No. This was built. This good 55 pounds of love, it took time. One of my best friends came up to me. See, when I go out to have fun, I have fun. And where I go, the party goes. And so we were at clubs, and he was watching me, and he was interacting with me, and I'm going to show you what it's kind of like watching me in a club, okay? Just give me a second here. See if I got this right here. Right, so you got the music, right? Okay, anyway. I lost the bet, I had to do that. So, anyway, I go to the club tonight in the party, right? And as the party, he's looking at me and he's saying, Sean, how did you get like 20 girls in a circle around you, chanting your name, like throwing themselves at you? Like, I think I figured it out, Sean. I said, oh, really? What did you figure out? They said, they love you because you're in a wheelchair. And they like that. You're little and in a wheelchair. And that's what attracts them to you. So I said, okay, well, time out here. So you're telling me that all these women, they're coming around me and they're going nuts over me because they were raised as little girls to fall in love with 3-foot-tall men in a wheelchair. What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? He's like, I think they feel sorry for you, Sean. I think that's your appeal. I'm like, okay, all right, so we're going to do an activity here. I'm going to wipe away normal Sean. Sean that you've seen, you've been friends with for years. And I'm going to replace him with disabled, little 3-foot-tall Sean in a wheelchair. And I'm going to go back onto that club dance floor, and I want you to observe what happens. He's like, okay. So I go back out on the dance floor. And now I'm disabled Sean, right? And you know what happens? Everyone avoided me like I was furniture. They walked around me. They wouldn't make eye contact with me. And he freaked out. He's watching this. He freaks out. He runs over me. He's like, Sean, transform back to your old guy. I want the 10 ladies. Come bring it back, bring it back. Snap out of it, right? And I said, okay, what did you learn? He said, I learned that, I guess it's your energy, it's your attitude that brings that to the party. I said, that's right. See, it's not the container that brings the fun. It's what's in the container that brings the fun. It's the persona, it's the personality, it's the love, it's the energy that you vibrate. And so many of us so are hypnotically induced to believe that what you look like determines how successful and how happy and how much fun you can be having here. Stop that. If you are on the pool deck, you're in your bikini, you're in your board shorts, and you're like, oh man, my body shouldn't jiggle like that, let it go, okay? Let it go. You are supposed to have fun here. I want to do an activity that when we're interacting, I want to show you that energy comes from within. Motion creates emotion. If you want to have a great time here, we want to make this ship rock, we want to have a blast, you're going to have to bring the right kind of energy. So we're going to do an activity with you right now to show you that energy comes from within. So I want you to think right now of somebody that you've met in your life that is extremely, painfully shy and insecure. Very shy, very insecure, afraid of their own shadow. Alright, you got a picture of them in your mind? Okay, now look at the way they carry themselves. Now what I want you to do is I want you to stand up and you're going to meet the person on your left and then the right in the most shy way possible. Do that now. And then go ahead and sit back down when you've done that. All right, sit back down. Sit back down. Now, here's what I want you to do. I got like 5 minutes here. Cheers. I want you to visualize now the most arrogant person you've ever met. For some of you, this is going to come outwardly comfortable. You're going to be like, oh, be myself? Yay! Seriously. I want you to think of the most arrogant person that you can think of right now. Okay? Do not say the name out loud. That would be rude. So what I want you to do is visualize that. And I want you to stand up in the most arrogant way. And this is arrogance. It's kind of like, oh, hey, it's Richard Branson. I don't know that. Yeah, seriously, make something of your life, won't you? That kind of arrogance, right? I want you to stand up and meet the person on the left and the right again in the most arrogant way possible. Do that now.
What's up, man? Have you heard about me? What's up? Yeah. You heard about me? It's likewise. What's up, man?
All right, go ahead and sit back down.
Do something with yourself.
Now sit down, arrogant people. All right, now. The really arrogant people are loving this. And let's be honest, your personality does not have to be a part of your identity. I've met so many people that are like, oh, I'm just a negative person, I'm just a positive person. Look, you are not defined by your behavior because your behavior changes. My girlfriend and I recently got tattoos, and we got tattoos of the infinity symbol because we believe that we're all infinite. We have good days, bad days. There are days that we're going to be rich, there may be days that we're poor. It doesn't matter. You are infinite. So anyway, the third possibility of your energy, I want you to think of the most loving, authentic, real person that you know. Not the cheesy, always happy, you wait for them to go postal kind of person. You know, they're like, right? You know who they are. So I want you to think of somebody that's authentic, that's real, that's heart-centered, that's loving, and I want you to stand up, and in that most amazing energy, I want you to greet the person on your left and your right, like they're your best friends in the whole world. You spent 15 years apart, and oh my God, you just saw them. Stand up and do that now. So when you're connecting with people on this ship and you're meeting people, here's the things that you're going to remember. You're going to remember, you know what? It's all energy. There's no need to prove myself to anybody. There's no need to act larger than life. Just be real. You're going to remember that. And you're going to also remember that when you're conversing, this is something I'm really, really connected to. When you're conversing, think about the game ping pong. Okay? You want the ball going back and forth. So if you're just constantly hogging the ball, it's all about you, you, you. If you see that, if you see somebody doing that, I want you to touch their nose and go, okay? Okay, so that's one. The ball should be on both sides. Also, don't be one of those question whores. You know what a question whore is? It's like, oh, tell me, oh, me? Oh, you don't know about me. Anyway. No, share as well, okay? So you want to have ping pong. If you see somebody's clouding the conversation, go laugh. If they don't, we'll throw them overboard. It'll be fun. So the last story that I want to tell you is how many people got to raise their hands deals with stress in their career, their passion, their purpose. Okay, stress is eating you all alive. It's the most deadly disease we have on the planet. Stress kills more people than any drug, than any disease. I believe that stress is what causes us to die prematurely on this planet. And I want to help you reduce your stress. And the best way that I found is through laughter. So repeat after me. What's funny about this?
What's funny about this?
No matter what happens on this cruise ship, if the lights go out or you get stuck anywhere, you just go, what's funny about this, okay? And you might say, Sean, how did you come up with that idea? I'll tell you. So, we're rewinding the clock to 1998. I'm working on Capitol Hill for my congressman. I get to work early. My congressman would beat me in. I had my newspaper, my hot tea, and he said, Sean, come in here. So I wheel over. He said, Sean, I need you to run an errand on the other side of the Capitol. And no one's around yet. So can you handle this? I said, yes, absolutely. So I take the errand, and I wheel down to the elevator. Okay, now what you may not notice, because you're maybe a little perceptually slow, I'm not very tall, okay? So to touch the elevator buttons, I travel with an elevator stick, also known as a backscratcher, okay? So I press the elevator button, the doors open, I go into the elevator. The doors close behind me. I swivel around to find the panel of buttons. I find my floor, I press my button, except nothing happens. So I'm getting a little frustrated, like what's going on? So I'm thinking, maybe I'm not pressing hard enough. So I push even harder, except nothing's happening. Then a light bulb goes off in my head, and I realize that on the outside of the elevator bank, the buttons were pressure sensitive, but on the inside of the elevator, they were heat sensitive, and my elevator stick wasn't hot enough. So I thought, what would MacGyver do? You know? It's like if I had a pack of chewing gum and a tampon, I could make a bomb. Right? Can I say bomb on a cruise ship? Can I do that? Anyway, so I'm heating up the elevator stick, right? I press my floor, nothing happens. Now I'm getting stressed, right? So I decided I'll take this like a thermometer, right? Shove it in my armpit, get my juices on it, right? I'm getting my friction going. Finally, I press the elevator. Nothing happens. Can I be vulnerable with you guys? I need like a resounding yes. Can I be vulnerable with you guys? Yeah! I'm not proud of what I did. We're just clear, I'm not proud of what I did. I decided, surely, if I sat on my elevator stick, I could heat it up with my own body friction, right? So I am going to town on the system. I'm just like, who's your daddy, right? And I heat this thing up, and I pull it out, and I press my button. What do you think happens? Nothing. I ask myself a question. What's the question? absolutely nothing was funny about that. Then that's when you have to ask yourself the question again, what could be funny about this? So, I thought about the little camera in the elevator. I can just see the guy watching. And he's like calling his buddies, and he's like going on to YouTube and stuff, right? So anyway, finally, 45 minutes goes by. The elevator gets called again from the outside. I wheel down to the maintenance department, the people in charge of the elevators, and I wheel up to the guy in charge. I'm like, hey, you may not know this, but you're trapping people with disabilities whose elevator skates aren't hot enough to get the hell. And I'm just like frustrated. He's like, what? Those aren't heat-sensitive buttons. They conduct an electrical current through your body. If you would have just had a little bit of tin foil on the end of your stick, you would have been fine. I looked at the man. I looked him directly in the eyes, and I said, who comes to work with tin foil? And I get in the elevator like, hey guys, gonna make a batch of brownies? What are you talking? And we started laughing. Because you're all a bunch of stress balls. I'm a stress ball, you're a stress ball. We get all tensed up. Okay? Listen, we are supposed to be laughing. When we laugh, we release that tension. When they study animals in the wild, they laugh when they finally get out of danger. You know what they're doing? They're just releasing tension through a sound. The reason why I really create an atmosphere where we're laughing and we're thinking and we're letting go is because life is supposed to be enjoyed. I love my life. I'm up to some really cool things. I got to work with the Dalai Lama. I'm out there. We're going to be putting together an orphanage for people with disabilities where normally they're killed in third world countries. We're up to some really cool things in my life. And I am on fire with my purpose. If you want to be happy, stop chasing money and numbers. Go after your purpose. Nothing will stop you, and you will feel amazing every morning you wake up. Thank you very much.